Hey everybody, Kim Hazelton, the Funky OT, and today I am bringing you another tip to help you help your child calm and focus. As you can see, I am sitting in a bin full of dry beans, and these dry beans, when we sit in them like this, provide proprioceptive input for our body. Proprioception is the sense that we receive when we get hugs or massages, or when we clench our fist or clench our teeth. Chewing on things can provide proprioceptive information to our brain. And proprioception has a tendency to help us calm and to focus. So we use this bin full of beans to help the kids get calm and focused before we try something a little more challenging that requires their focused attention, like maybe handwriting or something like that. So we'll have them sit in this bean bin, and we will have them do activities in here first. And one of the things that they really enjoy doing is going on a treasure hunt. So we put things in the beans for them to search for. So let's see, where are my items? We use things like these little plastic dinosaurs, or these tiny little plastic animals. I don't know if you can even tell that that's a little tiny pig. And as you can see, a lot of these things are a little more brightly colored, but then some of them are a little darker. That little sheep is gray, the cow is brown. Some of them are more challenging for the kids to find. These are a little bit bigger, so even the ones that are kind of darker are not as hard because they're bigger. They can use their tactile information, their tactile sensory sense to find them as well. But if you want to work on some visual perceptual skills like figure ground, this is a good way to do that as well. Another item that we put in here are nuts and bolts and washers, and we have different sizes, so the kids have to figure out which sizes match. So looks like I only have one set on the big one, but if they were to find the large bolt, the large washer, and the large nut, then they can screw it together. And now they're working on fine motor skills. We maybe work on tripods, so maybe I'll have them hold a washer in their palm with their ring finger and pinky finger, and now I'm working on a tripod skill. And we can work on bringing hands to midline because the elbows are kind of being facilitated to bring your hands together. So we can work on more than one skill, and while we're doing it in here, these beans are keeping them a little bit more calm and able to focus on the things that we're asking them to do. A few more things we might put in here. We have these pop beads. So we may not be working so much on the visual perceptual skills because these are not going to be super hard to find in here, but maybe we're working on fine motor skills. So we're going to push these pop beads together. Can I even do it? These are tough. I've got another set of pop beads that are not nearly as challenging as this set. And let's see. Oh, we might do some lacing. So we've got pony beads here. This is a big bin of pony beads, so I use an elastic headband to make sure that the lid doesn't accidentally come off, because some of our little friends like to help us carry these things and open them for us, and they're not quite so careful when they open them. So anyway, we've got these pony beads and pipe cleaners. So here's a glitter pipe cleaner, and we might throw some of these bright beads in here and then have them lace the beads onto the pipe cleaner. So they are working again on fine motor skills and tripod and pinch. So that's a fun activity for some of the kids. But I will say probably the favorite activity is when we put money in here. So I actually pay the kids to do things. When we throw money in here, you can see that when we use pennies, the pennies are going to blend in to these beans. So they're almost the same color. So this is a really challenging task to have the kids do. And what I typically ask them to do is to find the pennies, and then once they find them, they have to put them in this container. This is an old toothpick container, and I just cut a slot in the top, and they actually have to push these pennies in here. And maybe I have them hold some pennies in their palm and move the penny to their fingertip, translate it to their fingertip, and then we're working on pincher skills, but I've still got a penny in my palm, so I'm working on differentiation of the ulnar and radial side of my hand, and we're pushing this in here, and now I'm getting proprioceptive feedback through my fingers, so I'm better aware of what my fingers are doing and how they're moving, so that promotes better praxis or coordination skills for things like buttoning, opening packages, handwriting, things like that. What's really neat, and this is what's so motivating for them, is when they find the pennies, they get to take this to Miss Dina, who is at the front desk, and Miss Dina has this tray in her desk. And so now we start helping the kids with math skills, and they need to know how many pennies they have, and then what can they trade it in for. So if they find 6 pennies, they are to tell Miss Dina that they have 6 pennies and they would like to trade 5 of them in for a nickel, and then they get to keep the money. Whatever they find in the beans, they get to keep it. So we're working on some math skills. So this is a fun activity for the kids. It helps them calm and focus. I want to give you a little tip, because sometimes if your kids are kind of sweaty, the beans will stick, and especially it will stick to their feet, like between their toes and under their toes, and it can be uncomfortable for some of them. So a little bit of baby powder, I call it power powder, gives them the power to repel the beans. They kind of think that's neat, but a little bit of baby powder on their feet will keep the beans from sticking to them. So the last thing I want to show you is another activity that you can do in here. So sometimes sitting in the beans and then getting out and doing a fine motor activity like handwriting or reading, reading and writing or something like that, it's not enough to help them calm. So maybe we work on the activity while they're in the beans. So here is this piece of chalkboard that I bought from Home Depot. From Home Depot, you can buy a 4-foot by 8-foot piece of chalkboard. It's about, I guess it's about a 1/4 inch thick, and it's $10. It's $9.99 for 4-foot by 8-foot. And you can cut it into any size you want. So we've cut it into, I think we cut it into 3 different sizes here in the office. We don't have a border around it. I could probably put duct tape or something around it, but I mean, you can see it's been used. But this works really well. It's actually a really good version of a chalkboard. And so the chalk writes on it really well, and we can use it as a desk here in the beans. So you can have your child do work right here. I'm trying to find my chalk now. There it is. You can have them do work right here in the bean bin. And you can have them draw or write with the chalk. See how good that writes? Oh, I love that I found this. So you can have them draw or write with the chalk, or you can have their paper and pencil up here, and they can do their schoolwork or homework. You can have them work on Play-Doh or putty up here. You know, if you're brave, you can even let them eat here. So if you have kids that don't sit still for the meals, and you just want to get some food in them, you can have them maybe try sitting in the beans. Maybe that will calm them down enough just to get them to be able to eat. So I hope that this has been a helpful tip for you, and that you try it and that it works for you. And if you do, take a picture and share it with me. I would love to see it. Okay, that's it for this one, and I appreciate you guys checking in with me, and I hope you have a fabulous day, and God bless all of you. Love you. Bye.